Okay, let me paint you a quick picture. Imagine opening your banking app at the end of the month, and instead of that usual mini heart attack, you actually smile because everything looked neat, simple, and stress-free. It might sound crazy, right? And honestly, I never thought I'd be there. But becoming a financial minimalist completely changed my relationship with money, from constant anxiety and cluttered spending to clarity, purpose, and yes, even excitement. So if you're curious about why simplifying your finances can seriously upgrade your life, stick around because in today's video, I'm going to share exactly why I became a financial minimalist and why you might want to try it too. And guys, if you gain any value from this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and push the notification bell for more on sustainable fashion, personal finance, and minimalism. Now let's get into it. Number one, what is financial minimalism? My personal definition. All right, first thing first, when people hear financial minimalism, I feel like they instantly picture someone living off beans and rice, refusing to buy anything remotely fun or enjoyable. But honestly, that's not even close to what it's actually about, at least not for me. To me, financial minimalism is just about getting really clear on where your money is going, why it's going there, and making sure every dollar counts. It's like giving your money a purpose instead of letting it wander off aimlessly. Think of it as decluttering for your finances. Cutting out all those random expenses so you're only spending money on things that generally matters to you. For example, I used to waste money every month on subscription I barely touch, clothes I only wear once, or random late Uber Eats orders I regret immediately. But once I started practicing financial minimalism, I realized I wasn't depriving myself. I was freeing myself up to spend more intentionally on the stuff that generally add value to my life. Like instead of buying 5 random shirts that I'd be wearing once, I'd buy one really good sustainable made shirt I actually enjoy wearing for years. So at its core, financial minimalism isn't about limiting your life. It's about simplifying it, aligning your money with your values, and finding real satisfaction in every purchase. It's choosing quality over quantity, intentionality over impulse, and meanings over clutter. Number two, my journey to financial minimalism. So a couple years back, my life was pretty much the opposite of financial minimalism. I was working hard, earning decent money, but somehow by the end of each month, I was still living paycheck to paycheck. And honestly, it kind of made no sense to me. It felt like no matter how much I earned, my bank account always stayed on life support. And here's the embarrassing part. I wasn't even buying expensive stuff. There was all these little impulse purchases adding up. Random clothes, ordering food way too often, and those sneaky Amazon packages arriving on my front door every other day. I knew something had to give when one night, after spending hours scrolling through online stores, I finally clicked buy on a sweatshirt I didn't even like that much, purely out of boredom. When it arrived, I barely wore it, and that sweatshirt became my personal symbol of waste money and lost opportunity. And that's the moment that forced me to pause and take a good look at my habit. And I asked myself, why am I working so hard just to throw money away on stuff that doesn't even make me happy? That question alone was the wake-up call I needed. And that's when I discovered financial minimalism. It wasn't just about budgeting or cutting back. It was about recognizing that every dollar I spent was either building the life I wanted or distracting me from it. From then on, my spending became more intentional, simplified, and aligned with things that actually matters. Quality clothing, meaningful experiences, investing in my future, and saying goodbye to pointless impulse buy for good. Number three, benefit of being a financial minimalist. So one of the biggest surprises when I embraced financial minimalism was realizing how stress simply vanished overnight. Before checking my bank account, it felt like I was playing Russian roulette. Would I have enough money for rent, or was I about to see an overdraft alert again? But once I got intentional about where my money was going, my anxiety around finances dropped drastically. And it's not just about stress. Being financially minimalist actually gave me more freedom to spend on things I genuinely care about. For example, instead of blowing $200 on random shopping haul each month, that same money now goes straight towards an investment account, saving goals, or even meaningful experiences. I can now grab dinner with friends without feeling guilty, or spontaneously book a weekend getaway, all because I'm no longer wasting money on stuff I barely use. Another thing I noticed, clutter. Not just physical clutter, but financial clutter was suddenly gone. Fewer transactions meant fewer things to track and worry about, which made budgeting way simpler. I felt more organized, more in control, and honestly, just happier overall. So if you ever thought financial minimalism sounded restrictive, trust me, it's actually the exact opposite. It's about cutting out the noises so you can clearly see what matters most to you. Number 4, financial minimalism in everyday life. So one of my favorite part about financial minimalism is that it makes daily decision way easier. And I mean way easier. Now, instead of randomly throwing money at every sales or shiny new gadget, I've simplified everything down to just a few clear rules. First up, I streamline my banking situation. I used to have multiple credit cards, 3 different checking accounts, and a bunch of random apps I didn't even open half the time. It was exhausting. Now, I stick to 1 main checking account, 1 saving account, and 2 solid credit cards that give me great rewards. And I also automate everything. My savings transfer, bills, and even investment deposit, meaning less headache and way fewer late fees. I also shift the way I shop. Instead of filling up my cart with impulse buy, I focus on items that I genuinely believe in, especially with clothes and tech. And also, sustainable fashion has become a huge thing for me. I would rather spend $100 on one well-made sweatshirt that lasts for years than keep recycling to cheap stuff that falls apart every season. Same goes with tech. I would pick gears that stay relevant and reliable, even if it's a little bit pricier up front, rather than buying cheap stuff that probably would need replacing 6 months down the line. The cool thing about taking this minimalist approach every day is that it trains your brain to make smarter and quicker choices. Less cluttering on your finances means fewer decisions to stress about and more money in your pocket for stuff that you actually care about. Number 5, tips on how you can start today. Alright, let's wrap this up with some practical tips you can literally start today, because minimalism isn't about being perfect overnight. It's about making easy, intentional choices consistently. First thing first, do a quick audit of your current spending. Grab your bank statement, your credit card bills, whatever you got, and quickly skim through last month. Highlight any things that makes you go, wait, why did I even buy this? You might be very surprised how many things slip under the radar. Next, before you buy something new, pause for a sec and ask yourself these 3 questions. Number 1, do I actually need this, or am I just bored? Number 2, will this purchase add any real lasting value to my life? And number 3, does this purchase align with my values or my long-term goals? And if the answer to any of these is no, congratulations. You just saved yourself from another impulsive buy. Another thing that helps me personally is creating a clear spending category that aligns with my goals. For example, instead of lumping everything into generic categories like shopping, I've created categories like self-development, experiences, and long-term investment. Now, when I spend money, it's clear what I'm actually prioritizing. If a purchase doesn't fit into any of these intentional buckets, it's an easy pass. Finally, think of money as your tool to creating the life that you want. That might mean traveling more, investing, or simply having a peace of mind. When you shift your mindset from what I can buy to how I can use money to improve my life, every dollar starts to feel more powerful, and spending become a whole lot more intentional. So there you have it. That's how financial minimalism completely changed how I handle money. Remember, you don't have to jump straight into extreme minimalism overnight. It's really about making those small intentional tweaks that slowly builds up into something way bigger. It's completely fine to start small, because every tiny change adds up to a big win down the line. Minimalism, especially when it comes to money, isn't about being perfect or depriving yourself. It's about making choices that actually make you feel good, aligning your spending with your values, and taking back control of your financial life. And trust me, once you start, you'll be amazed by how much lighter and clearer your finances and your life start to feel. Now, if you gain any value from this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and push the notification bell for more on sustainable fashion, personal finance, and minimalism. And I'll see you guys on my next video.